Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Little Shop of Nerds. I'm Julia,
Right?
and Happy New Year! It is going to officially be the new year starting tomorrow, well, tonight at midnight. So last week's hint was, which is Wookiee for Cowabunga. So, before we get into what we did, or what we're going to talk about, Um, we spent this whole month talking about our favorite Christmas movies, just trying to get into the holiday spirit. Well, now that that's over, the holidays are mostly over, we're going to talk about the bad of the season.
And that means we're going to be talking about not just one, but two holiday specials that were really bad during the time. One from the 70s, one from the 90s. I assume it's 70s or 80s, actually. What's yours?
I think it was 76, I want to say.
Well,
I can look it up real quick while you're talking about yours.
alright, and so, who's going first here?
You go first, since yours is probably going to be the shortest.
Alright. Today I'm going to talk about from the 90s, which anyone who was born in the 90s, you kind of had two favorite heroes well, besides Spider-Man, Batman, you get the point. I'm talking about either you're watching Power Rangers or watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or you're doing both. So this one, we're going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live-action Christmas special called We Wish You Eternal Christmas.
You know, when I was younger, I had this giant Michelangelo stuffed turtle that my stepdad had bought for me, and I probably still have it somewhere in this apartment.
Nice.
Yeah, Michelangelo is my favorite.
Bomb guy, dudes. Anyways, so it is? It's pretty much a Christmas special, and it's live action. And one thing you need to know about a quick history is about in the 90s they made a live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which was the costumes, like the puppet suits, were made by Jim Henson's puppet company. If you don't know who Jim Henson is, he's the guy who made the Muppets and Sesame Street. So, big dude. But anyways, see here, you look at, okay, let's just say when you watch it, the puppet suits in the We Wish You Eternal Christmas looks hideous. Looks terrible.
Is it Nightmare Fuel?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
And when let's say it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Next Mutations costumes are better than the We Wish You Eternals Christmas. Because it is terrible.
Okay.
Besides that, okay, the story pretty much takes place. The Turtles are getting ready for Christmas, singing a Christmas song, which, Deck the Halls, but they give it its own spin, and they make it sound like it's reggae, or, with the steel drums and do with Jamaican accents.
Oh, God.
Which I'm not going to do, because I don't want to offend anyone who's Jamaican.
Yeah.
But the first lyric says, "Deck the halls with pepperoni, la 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 la, eggplant and bologna." You get the point.
Who puts eggplant on pizza?
They do.
That's dumb.
And they walk down, and they're just pretty much after they're done singing, they're checking out their Christmas, make sure they got all of the gifts for the kids and their brothers, and someone forgot to get a gift for Splinter.
Okay.
And so what they have to do is they have to go get Splinter a gift on the last minute of Christmas Eve. And so they go through the tunnels, and you remember that song, "The Grandma House We Go"?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I just can't remember how the lyrics go right now.
Well, let's just say down through the tunnel, the shop.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
I'm like, oh boy. And like I said, it's just terrible music. After they get,
Would they get Master Splinter for Christmas?
I don't know, because
Oh, they didn't show it?
they showed it, but it was hardly shown. But like I said, this whole thing plays like a Christmas music video than an actual Christmas special.
Yeah.
Because there's no plot. It's just 22 minutes of them singing, and like not like say when they get to the up to the service, they do another song called "When to Get a Gift, When to Get a Gift for Splinter." I'm like, oh my god, how much more singing is this?
Yeah.
So after that, they walk around. They go to a Santa Claus by a Christmas tree, doing the Salvation Army thing. And here's what happens: Michelangelo starts singing,
Okay.
and he's singing. You know the song, "A Little Town of Bethlehem."
It sounds familiar.
In town of Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Well, this one's called "In the City of New York."
Okay.
Yeah,
That's odd.
and he's singing opera, and everyone's just when they're not doing anything, they're just
I mean, were they actually good singers at least?
decent. I give that.
Okay.
But here's the thing: Michelangelo was wearing like a scarf. It looked like those pilot scarves airline pilots wear.
Oh God.
And they go get their gifts, and blah blah blah, and they do a rap song called the Rap.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're pretty much talking about wrapping gifts. I'm like, oh.
So they're rapping about wrapping gifts.
Yeah, rap. I'm like, oh my god, please stop. And then we get with Splinter, and his costume looks worse. He doesn't look like a rat. He looks like a big-headed gerbil.
Oh God. Okay.
Like a hamster almost.
Oh God. This sounds absolutely horrible. I don't know what's gonna be worse, yours or mine.
Well, you want to know what the costumes look like?
Oh dear God, that is nightmare fuel. Mike just showed me a picture of the costumes, and that is total nightmare fuel.
Yes. And so they get Master Splint. So remember 12 Days of Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
It goes, on the 12th day of Christmas, the turtles gave to me a pizza with pepperoni.
Okay.
And it gets to Yo-Yo's manhole covers. Like, 5 golden rings, it's 5 video games.
They don't need 5 video games. There's only 4 of them.
You would think.
Oh dear God. Okay, so that sounds absolutely horrible.
And
to be honest.
like when he gets to the 12 days, he's trying to count. And he's like, he's like, 5 video games. I made it. I'm like, oh my God, please stop.
Yeah.
And and they just after they're done, Master Splinter's saying it's not about receiving, it's about giving, and okay, good lessons. And all of the kids come in. They're all hanging with the turtles and Splinter, and so Michelangelo orders a pizza, and they say, "We wish you," sing that song, "Wish You a Merry Christmas." And it says, "We wish you a turtle Christmas," and Michael like a pizza with cheese. I'm like, oh my God, please stop this. And at the end, they stop, they're done, and I'm like, during the credits, they still sing. I'm like, okay, I'm done. But when it gets done with the credits, they argued about how they had to get their gifts, and it was hard. Like saying, Donatello's like, hey, those shoes you gave me were small, and I only had 2 feet. I'm like, 3 feet. I'm like, 2 toes or something? I'm like, 3 toes. I'm like, wrong! Wrong! The turtles have 2 toes, not 3. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're gonna play the character, know the character.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, thank God, whoever made these lyrics were.
Yeah, that sounded pretty.
They were like
pretty
high.
bad. Yeah.
I think they were high.
So is that it?
Yes, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna have nightmares.
Okay, so
Well, I know yours is gonna be nightmare fuel.
yes, so it actually came out in 1978,
Ah.
and it was actually a TV special.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one I watched was the Star Wars Holiday Special. It was an hour and 38 minutes, with no interruptions, with no commercials, but it was supposed to be 2 hours long. So that tells you that they did about a half hour of commercials during this movie.
That's about right.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that all of you are familiar with Star Wars. So it did have Chewbacca. It did have Han Solo, Princess Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, Luke Skywalker. It did have all of them, but this focused more on... Oh, Darth Vader was in there.
I didn't also B. Arthur was in it too.
Yeah, Bea Arthur was in there too. And if you don't know who she is, she played Dorothy in the Golden Girls.
And if you haven't seen the Golden Girls, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. So, but yeah, so she was in there. She actually sung. She was okay.
And she's like a decent singer.
Carrie Fisher, who probably Princess Leia, she also sung. And she was okay.
Yeah, decent.
So, anyways, so the movie revolves around Chewbacca's family. I think it's his father, his son, and his wife. Didn't know Chewbacca had a family. I thought that Chewbacca was just a random mercenary traveling around with Han Solo. But apparently he had a family and he has a son.
Wait till Order 60s. You know it's kind of funny?
What?
That he has a son and a family? Wait until episode 3.
What happened in episode 3? I haven't seen it yet.
Look up Order 66. That's where the Empire tries to kill everyone.
Is that where they kill the younglings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Charlie likes to show that to me, and I don't like it. I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I've seen all of the Star Wars movies. I've seen 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and that was it. 6 is my favorite. Return of the Jedi. That's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so back to what's going on. So, it revolves around their family, and or his family, and they are waiting for him to return for what's called Life Day. All you hear is, you don't know what they're talking about. All you hear is just them, like, doing their Wookiee noises to each other. Yeah, you hear that for, like, ever. Eventually you do get, like, you try to pick up what's going on, like, with the way that they're acting. They do have a traitor that comes in. He's part of the rebellion, and he, kind of like maybe translates a little bit. Anyways, so they're waiting for Chewbacca to come back for Life Day. They're really worried. They haven't heard anything from him. They contact Luke, and Luke's like, "Oh no, but they left." He's like, "I'm sure that they're just held up. They'll be there soon." Princess Leia calls to talk to him. C-3PO translates, and she's like, "Is Han or Chewbacca there?" And she's like, does her little Wookiee noise, and C-3PO's like, "No, they're not there yet." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "I'll try back later." And their child is a brat. Like, holy shit. Like, I wanted to smack him. And they all kind of looked like Cousin It from the Addams Family. Like the Chewbacca doesn't look like that, but they look like Cousin It from the Addams Family. And don't even know like how to really describe it. It's just it's so cringy and I gave up an hour and a half of my life to watch this, and I regretted my decision. I was only like 2 minutes in, and I had regretted my decision to watch this movie or this special. It was just. Anyway, so then the rebellion shows up, or not the rebellion, the Empire shows up because they're like, this dwelling is supposed to have 2 males and or four Wookiees, 2 adult males, an adult female, and a adult or a child or a male child. And he was like, "Where's the other Wookiee?" And the trader like is speaking up for him. And he was kind of annoying. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, they just had an argument. He just stormed down. I'm sure that he'll be back soon." And they managed to get them out. There was a scene though that made me kind of sad with the baby, with the little Wookiee. They were tearing his room apart looking for rebellion stuff, and they grabbed a hold of one of his toys and they ripped the head off of it. So then when he goes, so they come back down. They're like, "It's clear." He goes, "Looks like you have a lot of work to do cleaning up your room." Or no. He says, "Now go clean your room," is what he said. So then the little Wookiee like ran up to his room, and he sees his room's just a mess, and he's just all like really sad. And then he goes over and he picks up the toy and the head, and he's sitting there trying to put the head back on it. And he's like petting the toy, and then he put the toy on his bed and then covered it with a blanket. And I was like, that's so fucking sad. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? So anyway, so Chewbacca and Han Solo do arrive, and then they start having their celebration, which was really fucking weird because they're holding like these balls of light. And they're wearing cloaks. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm like, what in the cult is going on here? Because it looked cultish. So then they go into like this cave or this building or whatever. I don't fucking know what it was. And all the Wookiees are wearing cloaks. And then Han Solo and all of them show up, and then Princess Leia shows up and she sings, and but while so then they had like during this when they were trying to keep the little Wookiee occupied when the Empire was there, he was watching like this cartoon, and this cartoon was badly animated. And it was like supposed to be like a rebellion type cartoon. The Empire is not supposed to know about it because it's supposed to be, I don't know why he's trying to watch this cartoon when the Empire is in his house, but he is. Boba Fett was in it. And I have no words. It was just bad. So then while the Empire was in their house, the show popped up on TV that they had to watch. Like, it was, the Empire had to watch it. Whatever they were doing, they had to stop and watch this movie, or watch this TV show. This is where it took place on Tatooine, and Bea Arthur was in it. She was the bartender. This guy comes in, he was like, "Oh, hey, you said that you'd see me again, and that, you'll be waiting," and he's like, that just kind of stuck with me, and he's like, "I'm here," and she was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Come to find out, she says that to all her patrons as they leave. So then he gets a little depressed.
Kind of like how those Japanese host clubs are.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I would love to go to a Japanese host club.
That would be nice.
I mean, I would hate to have to spend so much money to pay for a guy to fawn over me, but
Truth be told,
I would do it.
you would have to save up a lot from that.
I would. It would be worth it. Anyway,
It would be great. All right.
Back to topic. So, something popped up on the screen at the bar, and this is the same bar that they play the Cantina song, the dun 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 dun. So the one where Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan met Han Solo and Chewbacca, and there was like an emergency or something. So then there was a curfew that was established. So then everybody had to go home. No one wanted to go home. She managed to get them out with a song. And then the guy that she had kind of turned down was still there when she closed up, and then that's where that segment ended. It was, and then there was another segment with I think it's Chewbacca. I don't know if it's Chewbacca's father or if it's the wife's father.
Just say the grandpa.
His name is Itchy. So, anyways, Itchy.
No Scratchy then?
No, just Itchy.
No, I'm just saying, like, if her kid was Scratchy, you got Itchy and
Itchy
Scratchy.
and Scratchy, yeah.
Itchy and Scratchy,
yeah. That's from The Simpsons, if you don't know. But he sits down in this thing, and I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be about, but it's like this segment where there's some woman, and she's like, I don't know what you look like, and I don't care. She goes, but you know what I look like because I'm what your heart desires. I'm your fantasy. And I'm like sitting there, I'm just like,
virtual porn.
I was like, what the fuck?
He's watching virtual porn.
I mean, it probably would have been like that if it wasn't for family friendly.
It was VR porn.
Anyway, so then she's like, she starts like singing and everything, and I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, the fuck?
Yeah.
So then there's also another segment with the wife where she was cooking food and she was watching a cooking show and so she was following along with the recipe. The son ends up making like a transmitter to get the Empire out. They find out that that it was fake. They go out, or he's trying to grab the little Wookiee. Chewbacca comes in. The stormtrooper gets pushed off the cliff or off the top of the build, or they have like this little like veranda type thing. The Stormwalker gets pushed off of it, or not Stormwalker. Stormtrooper gets pushed off of it, and dies, obviously. And I mean, there's just, I don't know, this special was just so cringy. I mean, if any of you watched it and liked it, good for you. I did not like it. My boyfriend, who loves Star Wars, knows everything there is about Star Wars, absolutely loves Darth Vader, did not like, or will refuse to watch the holiday special. He has seen bits and pieces of it, but he refuses to watch it all the way through. And he was warning me before I went into the bedroom last night to watch it, it's going to be cringy. And you know what? It was cringy. And I told him so this morning when I got up to take him to work. It was cringy as fuck. I did not enjoy it one bit. So, I don't know who had it worse, you or me.
Well, let's put it to a vote. Put in the comments what you guys thought was worse, Star Wars or the Turtles.
I mean, I would say that I had it worse because I had to watch an hour and a half of this. You only had to deal with 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I had to deal with cheesy songs.
I mean, there was a few cheesy songs, in mine too. But you didn't have to hear the Wookiee noises, like, constantly.
You didn't have to hear terrible penmanship.
I mean, I probably would have preferred that. over.
And the
what I
Nightmare
love.
Fuel costumes.
I would definitely. I had Nightmare Fuel costumes too. They looked like Cousin It.
Mine look like those ice cream bars that doesn't look like the package.
I need to show you a picture of Itchy, which is the grandfather, because he looked terrifying. Oh, Mike just yawned.
What?
I said you just yawned.
So?
Yeah, people probably heard that. Okay, so this is what Itchy looked like. Yeah, you see? Yeah, he had like no...
He looks like a grandpa gorilla.
Yeah, so apparently his real name is Ada Chitkuk, which he became a grandfather and he would take care of the child in the absence of Chewbacca. He also acquired a nickname when Han Solo took to calling him Itchy. Okay, so it seems like that it's Chewbacca's father. Chewbacca's son's name is Mela Tubuk, I think. Or no. His wife is Mala Tubuk, which they just called her Mala. And then the son's name was Lumpawaru. Lumpawaru. I can't remember what they actually called him. Like the nickname. But wait, something about Waru? What does it say? Oh, so his nickname was Waru, is what they called him. Waru. So, yeah, so that is our, our video. This is the last video, or our last podcast of the year.
We'll have more coming up soon.
Yeah, we definitely have, of course, next week and everything like that.
And we're going to try to get back to the normal stuff. So now we're going to try and get back to some Studio Ghibli, maybe some animes here and there, maybe some video games.
Yeah, so, but yeah, so this is the way that we are going to end our, this year's podcast. If you guys have any horrible holiday specials you want us to check out for next year, leave it in the comments below, and we'll see about getting to them.
And we'll just like I said, just name it. If you want us to see us tortured, do it.
Yeah. So remember to like and subscribe. All that jazz. We're up to 16 subscribers. We're trying to get more. We get 100 subscribers, and we'll finally show our faces, and we'll do some cosplay for you. Yeah, Mike is gonna be Lady Tsunade from Naruto, and I'm gonna be Gordon from Black Clover.
Right.
So I do need to sit down and watch Black Clover. I will get to it eventually. I just got so much stuff I gotta watch right now.
We all do.
Yeah. So next week's hint is Hellfire.
And let that sink in.
Yep. So you guys have a good new year, and we will see you next year. Bye.
Bye.